Today's show is sponsored by Squarespace, the #1 online website platform to help you turn that side hustle into a reality. Today I'm going to give you my favourite watches of 2025 so far. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Unbelievably, we've had 6 months already of this year, and what a great load of watches we've had. From quartz to mechanical to digital titanium tough beauties. And with the experiences like when G-Shock sent me a G-Shock in a block of ice, well, it's been quite the year already so far. Anyway, all price ranges covered today, from £50 to over 3,000. These are my pick of the bunch. Are you best of 2025 so far ready? Let's go. Okay, let's start with Casio, shall we? Now, if you've been following the channel for long enough recently, you will know that I've been a little bit miffed with the legibility of budget Casio, well, all Casio digitals, when you look at the screen head on. They have been faded and rubbish. So when I got the new A130 into review, I was pleasantly surprised because it wasn't as faded as the others. Although this is a new watch, Casio did model this on the AE20, which was those 80s twin graphs, world time, stopwatch, countdown timer, alarms, and a decent-ish LED backlight. This is a great addition to the Casio retro lineup. Sticking with Casio, the opposite to budget, this cost me over £200, but it was the first time a Pro Trek had ever been reviewed on this channel. And what a Pro Trek it was! The new PRW-35. For anyone that loves the idea of owning a G-Shock with a triple sensor, so barometer, altimeter and digital compass, but you've always found G-Shocks to be too chunky, this compact Pro Trek might be the one for you. Now, I bought this on Discovery Japan, as you can't buy it on the UK market yet. This is resin cased and it has the softest urethane rubber strap I have ever handled on a Casio, so much so it did take me back a bit. Now, this watch marks a first for Casio, as it is the first time they have ever made an LCD screen with phosphorescence. Yes, behind the LCD display, there is a phosphorescent dial that if light is shone on it, will glow in the dark. Sort of the way Lume works for normal watch lovers. I found the operating of this watch to be fantastic, and it really has set me on a great path of looking into more Pro Treks in the future. But this latest one in 2025 gets my seal of approval. Now, before I talk to you about the next watch, let me tell you about today's sponsor, who are Squarespace. Now, let's say you've got a hobby. You really love it. You want to take it to the next step. You want to sell your hobby, whether it's products you make, things you've collected you now want to sell, or online courses. Well, if you want some help making the best professional looking website of 2025, look no further than Squarespace. With absolutely hundreds and hundreds of templates giving you step-by-step instructions, there absolutely is no reason why you can't make that hobby or side hustle a money-making reality. In the description below, you'll see a 10% off your first purchase. Go check it out, see how easy it is, and after you've made your first website, thank me later. And thanks Squarespace. Next up, a dive watch, well, from a company I love, the Cabot Watch Company. This is the TI300 on their Royal Navy divers, which were supplied to the Royal Navy back in the 80s and 90s. Now, this is the first time CWC had ever brought out their own line that was completely made of titanium. And you know what? The colour of it and the look of that manly case, it just works so well. We've got a 120 click unidirectional bezel, and the ring in the bezel is the Type 92 model. That design was used in Royal Navy and special boat service divers for that 1 year of 1992 only. To have it on this watch is pretty cool. The watch is powered by an ETA quartz, and for the price of £1,199, yes, it is a steep price. However, me being a CWC fan and loving the history of this brand, I think this is a phenomenal watch. And after the review, it had to stay in the collection. Another brand I absolutely adore is Vertex. Now, I am an owner of the M36, which is a reissue of the Caliber 59, the watch made for the British military for the soldiers of World War II. However, 2025 marks the first time I ever bought and owned a bronze watch. Say hello to the bronze M36. Bronze has a fantastic way of changing its look as it gets more exposed to oxygen or the air that we breathe. Whether you're close to the sea or deep in mainland, a bronze watch will patina in different ways. And for me, I thought there was no better type of watch to do that than an earthly field watch. And there's no better field watch out there for me than a Vertex M36. This has a gorgeous racing green dial, and since its rebirth in 2016, Vertex uses actual blocks of superluminova, something that you see a lot of brands doing these days. But remember, Vertex were first to do it. Inside we have a custom automatic SW260-1 Swiss automatic movement. Still loving that bronze watch, and at the end of the year I'll give you an update of what that bronze watch actually looks like now. Next up, we have to talk about Christopher Ward's difficult second Halt Horology album. Yes, after the Bel Canto, which really put the brand on the map around the world, Chris Ward are showing off once again that Halt Horology does not have to be massively expensive. And we give you the C12 Loco, an in-house caliber manual wind movement with a free-sprung balance wheel. Like the Bel Canto, the design has been thought out beautifully. The back of this watch is just as cool as the front of it. The case is beautiful, and watching that free-sprung balance wheel oscillating away, well, it's mesmerizing. Yes, it's not cheap at over £3,000, but it definitely has to be one of the best watch releases of 2025, especially for a British watchmaker at the end of the day. C Ward are definitely leading the charge when it comes to British watchmaking, and we can only see them going from strength to strength. Next up, a digital watch that's not a Casio. Yeah, I don't tend to usually review any other digital watches unless they are Casio. But when I saw pictures of the UTD8000 from company RZE,
well, it was right up my digital alley.
Using their patented Ultra Hex titanium, RZE has basically come up with a rival to a G-Shock. And when we're talking about titanium, well, a more affordable G-Shock. Now, even though the case and bracelet doesn't have that Casio DNA in it, I did find little inspirations on the display text. Warmed me old digital cockles. This watch is pretty much scratch proof and shock proof. That was the remit of the UTD8000. The features on the watch are quite basic, but at the end of the day, it's not about the features. It's the fact you can take this watch through an apocalypse and back. You may be scratched up, but your UTD will look like brand new. The only thing missing from this custom digital module for me was solar power. I think this is one of the best releases of 2025. There aren't many companies big enough and bold enough to have a go at the digital watch market, so you gotta give them props for doing it.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Next up, we come to probably my favourite chronograph I've reviewed so far this year. I've known about the brand for a couple of years. We are talking about Hanhart, a German brand that made a name for themselves back in the 20s for making very accurate and reliable stopwatches, a niche only the Swiss were doing at the time, and for a pretty penny. But Hanhart's most famous watch is the 417, a pilot's chronograph that was first made back in the 50s. Now 2025 marks the first time the 417 ES meaning stainless steel, not only comes in 39mm, has a flyback chronograph movement, and has its famous red button pusher. Now all this mixed together and put on a bunt strap, this thing is absolutely handsome, and definitely one of the best chronograph releases you'll see this year or any year. So there we go, my cream of the crop for 2025 so far. Now the big question is, will these still be my favourite watches, or has the next 6 months got something very special lined up for me? And What will be my worst watches of the year? Well, I've got to tell you, hands down, at the minute, it's a new watch from G-Shock I looked at a few weeks ago, and it's still giving me nightmares. Looks like a burnt cookie, about as legible as the text on a microchip, and feels like you're wearing an alien handcuff. Will that still be the worst watch for me of 2025? Don't really want to look at a worse one than that. Now, if you want to see the full reviews of each of these watches, go back in time. I've done a show on all of them. You'll get to hear my wife's comments about them as well. Some of them are brutal. But if you want to show a bit more support, I've now got a Patreon page. Would you believe it? Access to shows early, behind the scenes content, blooper reel, and get a name check at the end of every show, including this one. Look at these lovely people. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, at least go check this one out, because this will blow your mind. You will love it. Go on. I have got loads of things. Oh, I haven't showed off my Grail watch, the Rolex. Talk about that later. Go on, click it. Click it.